All right, let's talk about Suships. Okay, so it Suships, you want to play as many of the main deck cards as you can, at least the monsters, right? So this is a rank 4 spam deck, effectively. So you play 3 Shari, which is the vanilla. It's kind of the centerpiece of the deck. Amazing flavor text. You play 3 Akura. If you control Shari, you can special summon it, and then you can excavate the top 3. If you hit a Shari, you can special it or add it to your hand. You actually sometimes want to do the add it to your hand, even though you might not think you'd want to, because other things need it to be in hand. This one, again, if you control Shari or an Xyz that has it as material, you can special summon it. This one also has an effect where you can special summon another Gunkan monster from your hand and then stack a card on top of your deck, specifically a Shari. So this works really well with Ikura because they kind of combine for that effect to make sure you can guarantee to hit Ikura. Uni is another one where you can reveal a Gunkan card in hand, special summon it. If the card you revealed was Shari, you can special summon it. You don't have to. Again, sometimes it's good not to. And then you can target a Gunkan monster, change its level to either 4 or 5, and then add a Shari. One of the main reasons you want Shari in your hand is this card, which is like the main reason the deck is even playable. This card reads like a custom card. It's kind of absurd. So its name becomes Shari while in hand, deck, or graveyard, or on the field. Basically, the only place that it is not Shari that it's gonna come up is as an Xyz monster, so keep that in mind. If it's an Xyz monster, this is not Shari. It is Shari Red. It's a different card. So this, as a material, does not allow you to summon this card, for example. If you have another Shari in hand, which again could be this, could be actual Shari, you can special summon it, and then if you want, you can special summon one of these guys from the deck and then immediately make the Xyz. Even if you summon this, it's a different level, you can still make the Xyz that correlates with it. So this card is just absolutely insane. Again, you use the Suship cards as like a rank 4 spam strategy effectively, which is the main point of the deck. Other cards that are more or less Suship cards in name, Unexpected Die just gets you Shari. Painful Decision, you send a level 4 or lower monster, which is Shari, and then add a monster of that name. You can add another Shari, but you're actually usually getting Shari Red off this, because it counts as Shari. Those are all like the staple cards. Again, you want to play as many of those as possible. Another card you could consider is Rescue Rabbit. It's pretty good in this deck, but it does conflict with the Adventure Engine, which, as you can see, we're playing the Adventure Engine here, so you kind of have to make your choice of, do you want Rescue Rabbit, do you want the Adventure Engine? I go with the Adventure Engine here personally, but I could see either being good. As far as just other general staple stuff, again, we play 3 Veiler, 3 Maxi, 3 Ash Blossom, 2 Called By. The last card in the main deck, I saved it for last because I don't know about this one. So the Gunkan Suship Daily Special. There are 2 Suship Spell Trap cards. There's a field spell, which is, in my opinion, very bad. The only time you would ever want this is if you've basically bricked and have this and Ikura exactly in hand. If you have those 2 cards, you can basically stack the deck to guarantee this hits and just end on Baguska Pass, which is like fine, but it's usually not worth running in my opinion. But I run this. One of the Suship cards allows you to search a Suship spell trap. So it's nice to have one searchable card. It's basically a search card, and then it also can recur your resources to draw you a card. So when you use it, it's good. You basically never want to open this, though. You only ever want to see this if you're searching it. It's cuttable for sure, but I think it's nice to play one Suship spell trap. There is a Suship spell card that's coming out like someday. It like just got revealed in the actual TCG. When that comes out, I would probably switch that with this, but that's not going to be in Master Duel until forever. So again, it's mostly a rank 4 spam strategy. So as you can see, the extra deck is almost all Xyz. We play 1 Link monster. You do not have to play this at all. It is super overkill. It's just really funny because you can summon it. But there's almost never a situation where it is correct to make this card. The most important cards I'll cover first is the Suship cards, obviously. You play 2 of this card, 1 of this, and 1 of this. Again, they have names that I'm bad at pronouncing, which is why I'm not like explicitly saying them most of the time. Every Suship card has an effect where if it's summoned using Shari, you draw a card, as well as if it's summoned using the specific one that is like depicted on the card, it gets something else. For example, if you make this with Uni, it can attack directly. If you make this with this, it lets you search a card, a spell trap. So again, you search that. If you make this with this, it allows you to attack twice with it. They also have another effect as well. For example, this one, if a Suship monster deals damage, you can pop a card. This one, it almost never comes up because it requires the field spell, so I'm not even going to talk about that. This one is like really crazy, but it's super restrictive. Once per turn during your main phase or your opponent's battle phase, quick effect, target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Gunkan monsters you control, specials from the extra deck, negate their effects. Note that this is permanent. This is a permanent negation. The problem being it is only quick effect during your main phase or your opponent's battle phase. So you have to use it in very, very specific spots, but you can kind of learn to bait out the activations. But like this card is really insane. If you can summon it going second as your first summon, again, off of Shari, if you have Shari and then another Shari in hand, a lot of the time the very first thing you'll do is summon this to insulate your play, because if they try to negate something with the board that they built, you just chain this and then permanent negate something, which is kind of insane. So again, I play one of each for sure, in my opinion. Maybe you could get by with 0 of this card. You could probably drop this to 1. I just like playing 2 because it's the better of the rank 4s. Another card that is very important is Vapartu for the first effect. The second effect actually can come up, but the first effect is the big one. If this is Xyz summoned, you can detach a material, add a level 4 or lower or higher, normal monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. That's going to come up a lot because there are a lot of situations where you specifically need this card in your hand. For example, this needs another copy of Shari in hand. This wants another copy of Shari in hand. These benefit greatly if you have Shari. This is effectively search your most important card and put it in your hand. It's absolutely insane. Another card that's really good is Emerald because you can use it for extension. Again, target a non-effect monster in your graveyard, special summon it. This card and this card are very, very important because you want to ideally, at the very least, end on F0. So you need 2 Xyz monsters. So in almost every situation, if you're going first uninterrupted, you're going to go through one of these cards. It just depends on your opening. Outside of that, it's just a bunch of generic Xyz stuff. Obviously, play Zeus if you can. The Heartland Draco is just basically to make Zeus easier. Exciton Knight, Tornado Dragon, and Redoer are like very cuttable. They could be just any rank 4. You could play Dweller, you could play Castel, anything like that kind of works. I do think you should play Baguska because there are situations where you can basically only make 1 rank 4 monster and that's it. You might as well end on Baguska if you can. Again, maybe in certain formats, like in tier limit format, it might just be better to end on something like Dweller. But for now, I think Baguska is the better, like, oh no, my hand isn't that great, let me just end on 1 card thing. So yeah, that's the main deck. There is another build that I've been messing with that is a Utopia build. I don't have it fully built on Master Duel. I might make a video on that later. But for now, this is where I've ended up with the build. It does have some problems. Again, there's not a quote-unquote 1-card combo, so you can get into situations where if the opponent has a board that you just can't break through, or if you get behind, you're probably not going to come back. This deck does not have much comeback potential. Even going first, you can't really set up great boards. Ironically, this deck is probably better off going second, so maybe building a going second build with like lightning storms and stuff like that could be beneficial, because this deck is really good at breaking boards. Again, this card, I cannot express how much this card is clutch, but it's weird. It's so weird because you have to use it in very specific spots. And again, this is also good at breaking boards, but yeah, basically just rank 4 spam. That's what it's good at, so that's what we built it to do. It's dope. It's cool. You love the artwork. That's why you're here, probably. But yeah, we've got a couple replays to show, so I'll get into that in just a moment here. All right, so our first game here, we do lose the die roll, so we're going to be going second here against zombies. The deck has been pretty gutted with the ban of Halk, unfortunately. Rest in peace. But they're going to put up the classic zombie board, Zombie World plus Baylor Drock. We don't care about Zombie World, we just care about Baylor Drock. Our hand is super gas. We're actually going to draw Unexpected Die to make it even better. So we're going to activate that immediately because we control no monsters. Painful decision to get Shari red. We have a normal Shari in our hand, so we can utilize that. We're going to insulate our play by making the rank 5, which is, again, an Omni Negate during our main phase or the opponent's battle phase. They're going to try to use Baylor Drock. We'll negate. Unless they have hand traps, we're good to go. We're going to special all of our guys in tandem, basically. Use Shirao to special summon that to stack the deck to then be able to hit on Ikura. Ikura is guaranteed to activate because we stacked it. Special summon a guy. Again, we make Shirao. We search the card. We don't even need it, assuming we're going to OTK this turn. We happen to get Aramis here, which is you know, one of the best cards we could draw. Make Emerald, again, we're just making another guy, triggering all the Fateful Adventure cards. Get Draco back, get Wandering Griffin out. You've seen the adventure play a billion times. We're going to Emerald to special summon back the Shari. We're going to make F-Zero into Utopic Future Draco here. Again, at this point, the opponent clearly doesn't have a hand trap unless they've been holding on to Nibiru, so we're just making a bunch of guys. Another OTK card, being able to attack twice, pop a card. We don't even need it. We have well over lethal here. So we're just going to attack, pop the zombie world for fun, because we can. And then we'll finish him off here with the F-Zero. Alright, so this match we do win the die roll. We're going to go first. We're going to start off with Shari Red, special summoning itself in Shiraiyo. Again, allows us to actually search our deck for the trap card and draw a card, which is Ash. Pretty good. Our hand here isn't crazy. We can't guarantee the draw off of Ikura, so we do miss it. No reason not to try. We're going to make the Battleship there, draw an extra card, and we're just going to end on F-Zero. Again, this is normally, with this build, the main end board, which it's okay, but it's not great. We're going to set the trap to help us set up for later. We do have Maxi, we do have Ash Blossom. They reveal they're playing... It's some sort of Earth Machine hybrid. Generally, I know that... I mean, I play this deck a lot. You want to hold the negation until either Urgent Schedule or until Dozer comes on. So they do reveal Urgent Schedule, so we negate that. They try to summon a bunch of Kais. Again, we have Maxi. They have hand traps to stop it, but we're going to F-Zero here. I know that they can't do anything with these two cards really left on board outside of make Anchor Knuckle, so we stop the Pegasus in order to essentially end their turn. They end on Anchor Knuckle with nothing worthwhile in the graveyard, so this is basically game at this point. Again, we draw an Ikura there. We're going to use the trap card to shuffle 3 cards, then draw back 1. The card we draw is Painful Decision. Again, absolutely insane card to be able to get Shari Red. We're going to normal summon that so we can start summoning all our guys. They're going to activate that. We negate it just because we can, really, because it's funny. Summon that, stack the deck to guarantee the effect. Again, those two work in tandem really well together. We're going to add the Shari Red. We are not going to special summon it because we're going to summon Vapartu here. Vapartu lets us add the Shari to our hand, which then allows us to trigger the Shari Red, which we chose not to summon, which we can then use its effect. So that's a situation where, again, you don't always want to just special summon the card blindly. Sometimes you do want to have Shari in hand. At that point, the opponent's going to concede. Again, we had easy game from there. All right, our last game here, we're going to play against Eldritch. We are going second here. We are actually playing Shade Brigandine in this build. This is before I cut it. Shade Brigandine, I almost think it should go back in the deck. It's insanely good. I just didn't have it in my final build, but definitely consider Shade Brigandine. It's just a free extender, essentially. So again, it's Eldritch set 3. We're just going to hope and pray that our stuff's going to go through. We're going to try to get Griffin Rider on board. Pretty soon here, they are going to Hakero. We're going to chain Griffin Rider, special summon it. So we lose the Draco back, which is whatever, I guess. We have an Omni Negate on board. We're going to be able to get another, again, pseudo Omni Negate in Uni class. Again, it's only an Omni Negate during our main phase and the opponent's battle phase, but it's better than nothing. Summon some guys, make Vapartu. We're going to search another Shari. We're going to use Shiraiyo to special summon it, so then we can make Emerald. Again, Emerald is going to be able to special summon Shari. So we're just... Vapartu and Emerald are used to summon Shari just as much as possible, basically. Get rid of those two for an F-Zero. Not super helpful in Eldritch, but if anything, just to clear up the board to summon more guys. Tornado Dragon, which is actually helpful in Eldritch. Able to clear off one of the Eldritch traps. We're going to get in for a bunch of attacks. They're going to try to summon him back. We do have Called By to banish the Eldritch that they're trying to summon. So we're going to attack for a bunch of damage. This is actually not lethal, unfortunately. So they are going to get another turn. They do have a zombie world in hand, which, again, we knew that they had that. They're going to be able to set a couple Eldritch cards here. They're going to use a pot, which we're going to negate, I guess. We're kind of at the point where, like, we're not super worried about what they're going to be able to do here outside of, again, they're going to set a couple cards. Here they are going to get access to Scarlet Sanguine. We are going to pop that with Tornado Dragon. We know the last two cards are just Eldlixir traps, or excuse me, they're Eldritch traps that don't summon the Golden Lord. So really, if we can lock them out of being able to summon the Golden Lord, we know we're fine. So that's what they're on right now, 3 non-Eldritch cards. So we're just gonna, we don't even need to really get the Rite of Aramasir here. We just do. We're gonna go to battle phase. We're kind of BMing here a little at this point. I could just attack directly with the Uni class Dreadnought and just win the game, but I'm just attacking in order to try to force them to activate all their cards. We literally all I had to do was attack directly, and they couldn't have stopped that. But it's funnier to play with them a little bit.